Hey amigos, I am Arman. Have you ever imagined that saying no to someone was the key to taking back control of your life? The story begins with a young man named Tarun, an introverted artist who worked a part-time job in an old bookstore. Tarun loved stories but struggled with boundaries. He often found himself agreeing to the things that he didn't want to do. Why? Afraid of disappointing others. His inability to say no had left him overcooked, undervalued, and deeply unhappy. But one day, while dusting shelves, he stumbled upon an old leather bound book with no title. The spine simply read, The Art of Saying No. Intrigued, Tarun flipped through the pages. The book was not ordinary. It was filled with blank spaces, cryptic quotes, and a peculiar note on the first page. And it goes like, to master the art of saying no, you must first understand why you say yes. Curious but skeptical. So Tarun decided to take the book home. That night, the book seemed to come alive. Words appeared on the blank pages, forming a story about a young man who has lost himself by always pleasing others. As Tarun read, the book challenged him with a task, and it goes like, Tarun, tomorrow say no to something small. Tarun hesitated but decided to do. At the bookstore, the very next day, a co worker asked Tarun to cover the shift, as they often did. Normally, he would have agreed, pushing aside his own plans. But this time, Tarun hesitated and said, I'm sorry, but I can't. His co worker looked surprised, but didn't argue. For the first time, Tarun felt a sense of control over his time. That night, another text appeared in the book. Saying no to others is saying yes to yourself. A week later, Tarun's uncle asked him to help organize an elaborate party. Tarun loved his family, but knew this would consume all his free time. The book's second challenge echoed in his mind. Say no with kindness and clarity. Tarun responded, I would love to help in a small way, but I can't take on the whole project. Maybe I can recommend someone else. His uncle was initially disappointed but appreciated Tarun's honesty. Tarun realized that setting boundaries did not have to hurt relationships. That night, the book offered another insight. Boundaries are bridges, not walls. Tarun's newfound ability to say no began transforming his life. He had more time for his art and his confidence grew. But biggest challenge came when an influential gallery owner asked him to donate a painting for exposure rather than payment. Terrified of losing the opportunity, Tarun turned to the book, which now posed a final challenge. And it says, Say no when it matters the most. Tarun took a deep breath and said, I appreciate the opportunity, but my work has value and I can't give it away for free. The gallery owner respected his stance and offered a fair deal instead. Tarun realized that saying no was not about rejection, it was about self respect. That night, the book's last message appeared. The art of saying no is the art of honoring yourself. Tarun's journey had become full circle. He was no longer the person who has feared disappointing others. He had mastered the art of saying no and was ready to guide others on their path.